Mr. Darkskin Sam is my neighbor. Pretty disturbing.
Oh, I like that. I like that galloper.
Disturbing true horror story. Disturbing true. Tree. Oh shit. Tree.
Oh wait, this is true?
It says true.
It's true.
So we are going to find out.
14 minutes long.
Let's not waste no time. Let's come up.
This shit longer. No, hold on. Let me stop.
Oh yeah, y'all nigga, yeah, we got Do-Rag D back in the motherfucking building.
Hey, check out my boys.
Yeah! I gotta get a fresh cut.
You're not trying to show yet, man. You're not trying to show yet.
Gotta get up.
I said, show it, yeah. Niggas do it.
I wanna see the fucking. I wanna see the.
Bro, me and this man just came in clutch, bro. We just got free hair braid, bro.
Yeah, bro.
$7.
Shout out to motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Salute.
Yeah,
we can't shout out to.
We don't even know the name.
Oh shit. Hey yo. Shout out to the girl that did my motherfucking hair, bro.
Yeah.
She was a fucking G. Nah, she was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
She was cool as hell. So shout out to her. I forgot her name, but she wanted me to shout her out, man.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Shut you out. But you gotta give me a shit. She ain't give me a shit.
And shout out to the girl that did my hair too.
Yeah, they were both cool as hell.
Yeah, I just tagged her on my Instagram story, man.
That's
yeah,
nice.
she finessed my shit.
Yeah.
Nigga, my shit came out and I was like, yeah, I like this.
Trust, she gonna
I
be
ain't gonna lie, bro. This is the second time I did this style, and the first time I did it, I ain't gonna lie, I like this one better, bro. Cause the lady that did mine the first time, I think this one like right here was fucking fat as shit, bro. They were not even, bro. One was fat as fuck, nigga. The rest was like all good, but just that one was. I'm like, nigga, what? I'm like, I just take it, nigga. I don't got time. I got flight to catch, nigga. Yeah, I got Kim. Yeah, and she hooked me up with some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, man, let's get into this video. Let's do this.
Okay, well. All right.
Story number 1 by Michael Welch. I know that's why.
I was around 12. One bedroom in the
So
house.
you scared the goddamn computer, nigga?
My parents' house was a high ranch.
That's it.
When you entered the house, it split off to 2 floors.
Oh, hold on. Run
One
the
had
back.
12. I had the one
You
bedroom.
say he was 12.
I was around 12. I had the one bedroom in the house that wasn't on the 2nd floor. My parents' house was a high ranch. So when you entered the house, it split off to 2 floors.
Just in case, my nigga.
One half flight of stairs going upstairs and one downstairs.
Oh hell
The
no.
downstairs level had the den, the garage, my bedroom, and the bathroom. The other 3 bedrooms in the house were all upstairs. Since I grew up the old
That's scary as fuck too.
Oh wow, that shit set perfectly, bro. See, I'm nice.
oldest and the only boy in the house with 2 sisters, I got the room downstairs because it was the biggest and technically the coolest room.
Yeah. Those
After I
downstairs.
turned 10, my parents gave my twin bed to my little sister and I got a full-size bed, which was a bit of an upgrade because the room was big and could certainly fit a bigger bed. When I was 12, my little sisters were around 5 and 8. So at this age, I would be allowed home alone, but my 5-year-old sister wouldn't be left alone with me. And my 8-year-old sister would only be left alone with me if my parents weren't going to be gone.
But you allowed to be at the house by yourself or what?
Fuck no.
What the fuck you talking about?
For too long.
A lot of people do it,
for
though.
longer periods of the day, then one of my parents would take both of my sisters. For this short period of time, I'd say like 3 nights in a row, maybe a little more, I was waking up in the middle of the night for no reason, and I'd have trouble falling back asleep. Considering I was 12 years old, I knew I shouldn't have been having sleeping problems at that age. I was sleeping with the fan on next to my
This
bed
is the
because it
best
was a
fan,
hot
bro.
couple of days in the middle of the summer.
Bro, that fan
So I
never,
wasn't sure what
man, that fan got
exactly
you
was
through all the
waking
heat
up,
waves.
considering the fan provided a steady white noise. One of these nights, I got up after waking up to refill my glass of water. I went to the bathroom right outside my bedroom, and as I was filling it up, I thought I heard something come from inside my room.
Bitch.
I turned off the faucet and then listened, but now there was nothing. Just the sound of the fan. I walked to the doorway in my bedroom, and I couldn't tell what it was, but something was creeping me out about my room now. I went upstairs to the living room and decided to sleep on the couch that night. I fell asleep eventually, but that same night, again, I woke up, this time to noises from the kitchen. I saw the glow of the light from the fridge and the sounds of someone rummaging through it. The way that floor was set up had the kitchen out of view from the couch in the living room. I couldn't see who was there. I heard the fridge door eventually shut, then footsteps walk away and downstairs. I was drowsy, and so I went back to sleep. I believe it was the next day that my mom was folding clothes in my room, and she told me my room stunk, and I needed to clean up whatever that smell was.
That should look like it.
I ignored her because I really didn't smell anything. I wish I didn't ignore her, though. That night, our dad put the air conditioning on because it was simply too hot. After we all watched a movie as a family, everyone started getting ready for bed. I went to my room and played video games for a little while before getting sleepy. By that time, I turned off the TV and console and rolled on my side to go to sleep like I always did. Tonight, I didn't have the fan on because the air conditioning was on, so there was just the sound of the air blowing out from the vents in the ceiling. I fell asleep, but once again, I woke up not long after. I didn't know what the sound I heard was. All I heard was the vent fan blowing air. Then, when it stopped blowing air, the room was silent, and I heard something. Breathing. But it wasn't my breathing, though. I looked around the room. The closet door was shut, so there was no way it was coming from there. Part of my childlike innocence assumed it was my younger sister playing a prank. I got on the floor and looked the one place I could think to look. Under the bed.
Oh, fuck no.
I lifted the little piece of cloth that dangles at the bottom of the bed, and there was a very large person laying underneath my bed on a pile of blankets. Their head was facing me, but their eyes were closed. I fell backwards and basically crab walked out of the room screaming, "Dad." I heard my parents' door swing open and my parents yelling in concern. I pointed into my room and said, "Under the bed." My dad went and pulled out this very large, dirty-looking man. I remember my dad quite easily physically forcing the man outside as my mom called 911. I'm sure he went to jail for a while. Or maybe not, because he was homeless, who knows. This did a lot of mental damage to me where I didn't even want to sleep in my own room anymore, or let alone in that house. I had to sleep in the middle of my parents for a while. Then my dad installed security cameras all over the house.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, as a 12-year-old, bro, that would have fucked me up, bro.
Hell yeah.
Nigga, imagine you sleep.
Nigga, I would not even want to leave alone no more, nigga.
Nigga, yes, bro.
Nigga, I'd be 30, be scared, nigga. What the fuck?
You imagine you just sleeping and the whole year is like, that ain't me. You fucking look down, there's a big black fucking old dude just
With his dick out, just sleeping,
just fucking.
That nigga, what up?
Flip that nigga in, leave, nigga. Hey! That nigga said, son. Dude, nice guy. Alright, oh, nah, but that would freak any kid out, bro.
Bro, nigga, that shit would be traumatized.
Yeah, but I don't even know for days.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I'd clown the fuck out you. Shut up, you god with a dick out under the bed ass bitch.
Bro.
What is that? Has to be a homeless dude, no? That just crawl into the house.
So the nigga sneak into the house.
I don't know what that shit
In the middle of the night.
Yeah, he be going in the fridge at nighttime. And then go
Oh,
back.
maybe that nigga's been leaving under the bed.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He's been there for a minute. Mm-hmm. That nigga be going to their fridge at nighttime and shit. Oh, fuck, though.
In the middle of my want to sleep in my own room anymore, or let alone in that house. I had to sleep in the middle of my parents for a while. Then my dad installed security cameras all over the house. We threw out everything that was opened in the fridge because we had no idea what he put his mouth on in there.
That's true.
The fear of someone being under my bed stayed with me for a long time, years to come.
I ain't smell
We don't
it.
even know how long he was hiding under my bed. It could have been a few days.
I mean, they said the mom smelled something bad in the room. But he said, like, he didn't. Like,
Yeah,
he didn't
because the
think
mom
too
said
much
clean
about
your room because
Yeah, it
the
smell.
stinks in there. It was like, what?
So that meant there was a dirty ass old nigga in that bitch.
Oh, yeah, that nigga was farting all types of shit. I ain't smell no farts. Like, how y'all smell no farts? Everybody can smell somebody
I
else's
said, y'all ain't
fart.
smell no dirty fart?
Yeah, man,
I
bro.
know that nigga ain't washed his ass. There's no way he washed his ass.
Like, shit.
We don't even know how long he was hiding under my bed. It could have been a few days. The smell, the person going through the fridge, the randomly waking up every night for a few days. Whether he meant harm or not, having someone hiding under your bed is every child's biggest nightmare.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Hell yeah.
Even as a grown
Remember an
man.
adult, nigga.
Yeah, he said, yeah, I will.
Nigga said, child, nigga? Shit.
Story 2.
Ghost King?
This story is from my great-grandfather, who's currently at the ripe old age of 101. He's told this story at family gatherings for years. He's from the city of Yaroslavl in Russia. I guess it was the Soviet Union when he was born there. Being from the USSR, of course he served under the Soviet Union during World War II, then fleeing to the United States a few years after to escape communism. He told me this story again recently. It had been not long after the Battle of Veliki Luki, which wasn't a major battle of the war, but it still ended up in a large amount of Soviet and German bloodshed, as most battles at the time did. It was the evening, and according to my great-grandfather, it was very cold that night, like hellish cold. They were in a small house/building that was one of the few with no damage to it, which made it nice because it was warm. Him and his comrades were celebrating with drinks, songs, laughing and joking, what you could imagine a celebration would look like. At some point in the evening, 2 fellow soldiers walked into the building. My great-grandfather and his friend Sergei didn't care for these two. It was apparently because they were loudmouths and were just unpleasant guys. Sergei asked my great-grandfather if he wanted to go out and have a smoke. He agreed, and the two put on their heavy coats and walked out into the freezing cold air. My great-grandfather pulled out a cigarette, as did Sergei, and then he lit both of their cigarettes. They were talking for a while, both enjoying their cigarette and basking in the glory that came along with winning the battle that had been going on for about 2 months. After my great-grandfather finished his cigarette, they were both about to go back inside when they heard what sounded like a man scream from the woods in the distance. Fearing that it was the scream from one of their comrades, possibly being attacked by a patrol of pissed-off Germans, they went back inside quickly and grabbed their guns. Because of the fact that there might be armed Germans, they got a bunch more of their fellow soldiers to run into the woods with them. My great-grandpa mentioned that as he got deeper into the woods, he started to get a weird feeling, like dread and fear. When they couldn't hear screaming anymore, my great-grandpa suggested that they all split into duos and search for whoever it was. Sergei went with him, while the others went off in their own duos. After about 2 minutes of walking through the dark, cold woodlands, my great-grandpa said that he could hear faint crying, like someone was in pain. Sergei heard this too, so they walked to where they heard the crying sounds. They started seeing drops of blood in the snow, so they both began to take the situation as more of a threat than they were earlier. It still gives me chills when my great-grandpa tells me this part. When him and Sergei got to the source of the crying sound, they had found the most bizarre and disturbing scene they had witnessed. 2 German soldiers on the ground, one of them dead, one alive. One of them had their uniforms ripped and bloodied. The alive one was cowering by a tree, muttering stuff in German. He didn't notice my great-grandpa and Sergei right away. My great-grandpa then walked towards the other body. The corpse was horrifically mutilated, missing limbs, skin ripped off the face,
Damn, bears
was shredded, and it looked like he had been scalped. Another thing that stood out to my great-grandpa was the smell. He couldn't describe the smell, saying it wasn't like a dead body, but more like chemicals. The corpse looked fresh. Sergei investigated the living soldier, who then, noticing Sergei, jumped back in terror, as if he had been traumatized. He was shouting stuff in German. It was only then that my great-grandpa noticed that his leg had been torn apart, and his chest was bloody. He said he could remember that German screaming something like "Das Kolas" or something similar. Sergei pulled out his pistol and put the German out of his misery with a single shot to the head. Almost immediately after this, my great-grandpa described hearing moaning-like noises. That's when a very tall thing started running in the darkness away from them. Afraid, Sergei and great-grandpa started shooting erratically in the direction of the thing. The other men ran over, but the thing was gone. All of the men were reprimanded when they got back to the village.
Bro, it was Bigfoot, bro. He was Bigfoot. They were looking for him. You know how long they've been looking for Bigfoot?
Bro.
It was Bigfoot.
I think it was Bigfoot.
I think it's Bigfoot.
Or the siren, bro.
He said,
No, the siren is not real. Bigfoot is more real than that, nigga. I swear Bigfoot is real.
bro, it's got to be Bigfoot, bro.
Damn, bro.
It's Bigfoot.
That shit tore them damn limbs up, bro.
Bro, man, like, how the fuck is it so hard to capture that nigga, though?
I don't know. I feel like niggas would have got that nigga there. He was real.
I swear they would have been caught that nigga by now.
I got that nigga Area 51.
Bro, I don't know. I was just saying, bro. That probably some bear, bro. Cause nigga, there ain't no fucking shit making sound like I don't know.
Yeah, it could have been
The thing was gone. All of the men were reprimanded when they got back to the village, but a report was sent to the high command. It was never investigated further. My great-grandpa claims that it was the most terrifying experience of his life. It makes him stressed when thinking back on the sight of that mangled German and that thing.
Hey, if you're German, like whatever that word is.
Yeah, cola.
Coca-Cola.
I thought it was.
This happened when my fiance Morgan and I just moved into our house
The dude
together
that was saying
in a
Las
quiet
Colas, I
little
thought it was
town.
Russian.
Oh, I thought you said
We still
German.
live in this house. It's a modest, cute little house, perfect for us and a couple of kids if and when we decide to have. We met one of the neighbors right off the bat. They seemed nice. They were an older couple in their late 60s. The neighbors on the other side were pretty far away, so we didn't meet them for a while. We were still in the unpacking and furnishing phase. It might have been week 2 of living in the house. We were exhausted by every night, having to work our jobs and then also setting up the house and unloading. Morgan was cooking pasta in the kitchen. I was sitting at the table talking to her while on my laptop shopping for area rugs. It was a little stuffy in the house, so I was going to go slide open the back door. But as I got to it, I looked into the backyard and noticed someone sitting in one of the chairs. He was kind of hunched over with his head down. When I say I almost shit myself when I saw it, I'm not kidding. I whispered Morgan's name and said, "Don't scream, but there's a man in the yard." She walked over to look outside and gasped. She grabbed me and kind of hid behind me and said, "Go say something." "No, wait, don't." Truth be told, I myself didn't know if I should go out there or not. I'm not the biggest man, to be honest, and even though this guy had his back to us and was sitting down, he looked like he was bigger than me. Morgan suggested I knock on the glass and yell at him to leave. I didn't want to do it though, I was scared. The backyard is huge, but right outside the backyard door is a patio with the leftover furniture. The lights in the yard weren't on. We just saw him through the interior lights shining through the glass door, which meant he had to know we were in here. I said fuck it, knocked on the glass and yelled, "Hey, you need to get off our property." The man turned around and looked at me. He then got up with this half smile, almost like he was laughing. He looked 50. He had a really long gray beard and tattoos down to his wrists.
The fuck?
He walked up to the glass. I made sure the door was locked. He stood on the other side of the glass door and shifted his gaze to Morgan. He started licking his lips and saying vile shit. I yelled, "All right, I'm calling the police." I closed the sliding blind to get him out of our faces. I called 911 and told the operator to please hurry and send police to our house. I could still hear the man on the other side of the door, now speaking at a very high volume, almost yelling, still saying disgusting things about Morgan. I put the phone to the glass so the operator could hear it. He made me stay on the phone until police would show up. Eventually it went quiet outside, and so I took a peek out the glass and the guy was gone. Still, I couldn't wait for police to arrive. And when they did, they searched the backyard, took a police report, and left. We thought it was over. But later on that night, when we were in the living room watching TV, we both agreed we heard something from outside the yard. I went over to the window and kinked the blind, just enough to see that man outside again. He had a cigarette in his hand. He was talking to himself, or trying to talk to us, facing the house. He noticed the kink in the blinds, because he ran over to the window. I jumped back, and he started pounding on the window, saying all these awful, sick things he wanted to do to Morgan.
Damn.
I told her to go upstairs. I didn't want her to hear this anymore. I yelled, "I'm gonna call the police again," and then the pounding stopped, and he went silent. I waited a few seconds before kinking the blind again. He was gone. I went upstairs to go comfort Morgan, who was visibly shaken. I told her he was gone, when in hindsight I should have called the cops again. Downstairs, I heard bumping and knocking. I went halfway down the stairs and heard bumps on the back door and the doorknob twisting and turning. He was trying to get into the house. I grabbed the phone in the kitchen and called 911 again, once again begging the operator to send police now. This time the police arrived a lot quicker, and I didn't alert the man outside that they were coming.
It's the same night?
Fortunately, by the time they showed up, that man disappeared again.
What the fuck?
It's very likely he just ran off into the trees deep in the backyard. He didn't come back again that night. The next day, we went around knocking on neighbors' doors, both introducing ourselves to those we hadn't met yet and asking them if they knew anyone matching the description of that man. What we found out was disturbing. A couple a few doors down from us knew that man. He was known for beating his ex-wife and having a drinking and drug problem, and generally just regarded as very dangerous. He lived around the block from us in a small, rundown house. That's the scariest part. We reported him to the police, but since we didn't have him on video, we couldn't press charges.
Damn.
We don't know if he still lives there because we haven't heard from or seen him in a long time. I hope it stays that way.
Right. That was creepy. What y'all niggas doing in that shit?
I mean, that's why you gotta have a gun.
I mean, when you see shit like that, bro.
Boy!
Nigga.
You got about 5 seconds to
Say
get
one more thing about my wife, and you will catch a buckshot right in your buck eyes, bucko.
Blow your chicks off.
I will shoot this motherfucker.
I will show you something.
Bro, that is scary, though.
Stupid.
Yeah, that is kind of creepy, bro.
Bro, I literally can actually make a horror story, bro, myself, bro. Like, talk about when I almost got kidnapped, bro.
It's all a story, bro.
Cause nigga, this shit give me that vibe, bro. Cause it's like, bro, the guy that tried to kidnap me and I got away. I mean, literally the guy, like, I escaped from that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, just to find out a week later, this nigga enrolled to my school. You know how terrifying that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. And I had to see that nigga like every fucking day. I was shitting my pants, bro. I was scared every time I see him. And he would look at me like this and he would smile. I'm like,
no, motherfucker.
Fuck no, bro. My heart was pounding. Because in Nigeria, it's like, bro, when you get kidnapped at that time, it's like they have like this voodoo power wherever. Like this guy grabbed me my wrist and I felt electricity flow through my whole vein. Like, I jabbed my hand up and I started ran into my class. I was sitting like this, bro. Nigga, I was shaking. My teacher in the class, she was asking me, like, we call her grandma. She was asking me, so you believe me, is everything okay? I was like, I couldn't speak. I was shocked. I was locked, bro. I actually did a video on it, talk about like when I almost got kidnapped. It's on my channel if y'all want to see it.
What'd she do?
But like, she couldn't do anything. Oh, she just like comfort me. You know what I'm saying?
She ain't sending you home, nigga?
No, I mean, it's still school time.
Damn.
It was like during break time, you know, like lunchtime, but we call it break time. Everybody go outside to the swing and stuff. And this nigga came into the school compound, bro. It's like this fence, but I don't know how he came in. And this is how I knew that it wasn't a school, it wasn't a student. Like this nigga was wearing like the cultural clothes and everything. Everybody wear uniform. You know what I'm saying? He's the only one that stand out that is not wearing anything. And he was trying to tempt me with like lollipop. He was like, you want lollipop? I was like, no. Because my mama already told me don't take anything from nobody because at this time people getting kidnapped, bro.
You know what's crazy too? You know how many kids he probably did that shit to?
Yeah, that he probably already killed, bro.
That shit is crazy, bro.
Nigga, bro, I was like, he targeted me, bro. I was like, nigga, of all people in this, we were all outside in the playground, bro. Of all people, you came directly to me. And I'm like, bro, I don't know, bro. Nigga, the devil wanted to take me out a long time ago, nigga, but God didn't give no chances, nigga. Because, nigga, the fact that nigga enrolled into my school a week later, bro, and I get to see that nigga's face, that was scary, bro.
I will kill that nigga.
Yeah, bro, every time I see him, I run. Like, I had class with him, too.
That's crazy.
Yes, bro. I was like, fuck. And that's the same thing with this. Like, nigga, that nigga lives in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, it's not like he just came around. He living in neighborhoods. So it's like, nigga, you gonna probably see that nigga every day. Or wherever you seen that nigga.
And that's the type of shop you say. It's like, you never know what the fuck gonna happen to you, bro. Like, you could just be living your normal life and then you got random niggas like this.
Yeah.
Start saying shit to your wife or something like, nigga, in the back, you call the police, them niggas get there, that nigga gone.
Yeah.
It's like he just pranking your ass.
Yeah, it's like 2 times in a row.
Yeah. And then they find out where he live. They can't even do nothing to that nigga. Like, bro.
Charges. Because they don't got nothing on tape.
You better kept security installed. You gotta get yourself a buckshot.
Bro, we're in a generation where it's like, nigga, bro, we got too many cameras for you to not be recording shit, bro. Anything happening, bro, don't think twice, bro. Just pull out that camera and whip it out, nigga.
Get yourself a good system, bro. As soon as somebody drive past your house, that shit sends a notification to your phone, like, nigga. You is catching that nigga, bro.
Yeah.
Put that shit in every corner. Get 360. That shit can spin all kinds of ways, nigga.
Hell yeah.
I'ma see your ass, nigga. Fuck that.
Hey, man. But that's it for this video, man. Hey, y'all stay safe out there, man. If you feel like you in danger, man, hey, just call on somebody, man.
Call the police, call your dad, tell your mom.
You gotta call the gun, my nigga.
You gotta call
police, but there's a certain situation police can't handle.
Yeah, not talking about for the
So
young
you gotta
niggas.
have it. You gotta
I'm
handle
talking
it.
about the young nigga.
You gotta literally handle it.
Call a couple.
Literally handle it.
If you a youngin, like a 16 young motherfucker, call the cop. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you like 18, you can get a shot to it. You know what I'm saying? blow that nigga.
No, like, I'm all about that shit. Like, nigga, you ain't about to be on my property talking crazy, trying to get into my house. Like, boy,
I will show you.
I will show you something. You wanna act? Nope.
Hey man, but anyway, man, that will be it for today's video, man.
Hey, man, we hope you guys enjoy it. Hey, let us know if you guys want to see more. We're gonna get right to it. Please don't forget to
like, share, subscribe if you're new. God loves you, God bless you, and Weezy out here.